Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast, and today it is a 1 vs 1 on Eindhoven Country. And before I get started with the players, I'd like to announce that I'm going to make some videos without an intro at all, because a few people said that I shouldn't have an intro at all on these videos, so I'm going to try that out. And so I would really appreciate it if in the comments below, if you're watching this video and you have some time, put in the comments below if you like intros or if you don't like intros on YouTube videos.
An infantry section of Tommies has been trained.
And just let me know. So either way, and if I get a lot of people saying, hey, don't put any intros, I just won't make them anymore. And because some people do have intros, like Imperial Dane, the propaganda cast, he has a 35-second long intro, which I find a little bit inordinate, and I don't think anybody actually sits there and watches that, but maybe they do. You know, maybe that's the reason why he's the #1 caster. Who knows? But let's get started with the players. And down at the bottom, we have our blue British Forces player, who is currently the #1 UKF player, Dbmb. And up top, we have a clearly troll player, the red Wehrmacht player, HelpingKunts, what is obviously a bash on Helping Hans. So he's a troll, but and a Smurf player, but a very good Smurf player. He is the #10 Soviet player currently. So that's pretty funny, and I think he is also Kim Jong-un, but I'm not really sure. And now we have some British forces, the infantry, going right to the center victory point. And I forgot to say the map. Here we have Eindhoven Country, so we have our 3 victory points going across the map as usual. We have our fuel points diagonally across the map here and here, and we have our munitions points in the center of the map, directly next to the center victory point here on either side. MG42 is taking the first munitions point here, and we have the Pioneers going out here and placing some barbed wire on the other fuel point to prevent his opponent from grabbing that. Infantry section here, getting behind some excellent cover and battling out with grenadiers here. Meanwhile, taking the right side victory point and the territory point right outside of his base on the left, and now bringing his infantry over to the left side here. And these infantry still battling out here, but however, the MG42 is now on them, going to suppress them very soon, and will need to get out of there pretty much immediately. Now taking the munitions point with the infantry as well, down to 2 grenadiers and 2 infantry in this section here, and losing out on that due to that machine gun. Otherwise, they probably would have definitely beaten those grenadiers there. Putting a trench here right in front of the fuel point, a pretty decent idea, and we have some infantry also moving further up to the territory point there. So he will be able to garrison that trench should anything come up along there, and that will help him out quite a bit. 2 grenadiers still left, taking the center victory point here, but the British forces gained the first victory point, so taking down the Wehrmacht score to 475 before they can capture anything. Universal Carrier is out on the field now with 3 infantry for the British forces. Let's see, we have 2 grenadiers, the sniper for the Wehrmacht, and an MG42, of course, in the center of the map. Infantry now moving towards this sniper that was inside the house, and the infantry are trying to battle it out here, and the sniper's going back and forth there. Sniper gets 1 kill on the infantry and forces the retreat on the second one.
We are losing a sector.
Now taking the Wehrmacht's field point on their side with some infantry here, putting some sandbags up so you can get some decent cover just in case anything comes along there, and it certainly will sooner or later. Pioneers have taken the left side victory point, so now 2 victory points for the Wehrmacht, taking down the British forces score to 496 now.
Our lines of supply are
Now the Wehrmacht sniper is moving over to the left side towards this infantry section here. Going to take 1 or 2 of these before they're able to react. And now we have infantry moving towards the center victory point here and taking that. We have another grenadier being made by the Wehrmacht, so now a total of 3 grenadiers will be out on the field for the Wehrmacht. MG42 is garrisoned inside this house here and firing at the infantry section, and looks like they're just barely in range there. Now infantry running on home. The sniper got a couple kills there, and now the grenadier is going to take back the fuel point from the British forces. And running on home there. Now the center going to be taken back by the Wehrmacht. More than likely, this Universal Carrier really not going to be too much for these grenadiers. However, that flamethrower is just about ready on that Universal Carrier, and now it is definitely dangerous, and they will have to worry about that. The MG42 getting flamed up there and is now sitting in a pool of fire and going to have to get up and run away very soon. And Pioneers here battling out with these infantry section, and Pioneers definitely probably going to lose out on this very quickly to the infantry section. However, they did neutralize that munitions point from the British forces and are now currently taking it. Infantry get behind better cover here against those Pioneers, and the Pioneers are definitely screwed sooner or later here. Universal Carrier trying to chase down this sniper here. We're now going over towards the Pioneers, but nope, going to turn around. It's definitely trying to chase down that sniper, but he lost it as it camouflaged up. Now Grenadiers trying to get away here from the Universal Carrier. Don't really want any noise on that. And the Pioneer runs away with just one man left. Sniper almost loses his life there. And Grenadiers now moving towards the munitions point here. Going to try and keep this secure for the Wehrmacht. And Universal Carrier backing up from those Grenadiers. Don't want to take a Panzerfaust from the Grenadiers there. If they get too close, they will be in Panzerfaust range. And will definitely destroy that Universal Carrier in just a couple shots. And now running on home for the Wehrmacht, the majority of the Wehrmacht army in retreat. And now infantry section is moving forward here, going to be taking this victory point back. We have some medical infantry section here, and such a good upgrade. I really, really love the British Forces medical upgrade. It's sort of like an ambulance for the U.S. forces, and you just pretty much press the button, and it heals everything around you. It's just super good. Now the infantry over here taking the munitions point from the Wehrmacht, and at the same time we have some infantry up here taking the fuel points. So very excellent spread for Dbmb, spreading out all over the map, taking multiple things at once, forcing his opponent to just go all over the place, really. And now MG42 is going to be setting up against his infantry section here, but there's only 2 left in this squad, so it's going to be a pretty decent fight right here. And we'll see who wins out on that. It looks like the MG42 may win out on that, but now down to 1 man, may actually lose that, may decrew that MG42. Here comes the Universal Carrier, and going to launch some fire at that already and retreat. Now the Grenadiers going to be coming up. Sniper now moving forward here towards the munitions point. However, got to watch out for this infantry section here right behind it. And he's going to try and get inside this house, perhaps for a little bit of safety. Nope, just going to get behind the wall there for a little bit of camouflage. And now fires, and looks like he took out 1 of them. A total of 8 kills on that sniper. Universal Carrier forces away the retreat on those Grenadiers there. And now frees up the territory point for these infantry here. Going to grab that for some extra resources. Should be grabbing the left side victory point here, and this territory point as it's completely undefended. We have some Royal Engineers. Looks like they are moving towards that area just now.
Can now produce armored cars.
So Dbmb is definitely on the ball with that. Now Universal Carrier is looking for some more troops to singe up, but nothing around just now. And the Universal Carrier, I think, is a tiny bit overpowered. The flamethrower just shoots way too far. It does a little bit too much damage, but it can be countered relatively easy, but it's hard for the Wehrmacht to counter it early in the game because they just don't really have anything to deal with it. You can't get the pack. You can't get the pack 40 until you go to phase 1, and you can't Panzerfaust it until you're in very close range to the Universal Carrier. So it's very hard for the Wehrmacht to actually deal with a Universal Carrier early on until you get Panzer Grenadiers or a pack 40, or you just happen to maybe get close to it. But a very good player in the hands of Dbmb. It's very difficult to get close to the Universal Carrier to Panzerfaust. The 2 Grenadiers now coming down to the territory point here. And should spread these out. We need to go over to the field point there and grab that as well. However, the Universal Carrier is going to try and stop that. And now send in flame and creating pools of fire all over the place. Grenadiers got to watch out for that. Can't really push forward anymore, but they are behind decent cover there and taking that territory point. And they were trying to take that field point there, but not really going to happen. Going to have to force those away. That Universal Carrier just so good. The flamethrower is just super good. The machine gun upgrade on the Universal Carrier is simply not worth it, in my opinion. The flamethrower is just so much better than the machine gun that it's pretty much just a given to get the flamethrower upgrade. Now Sniper got another few kills. He has up to 12 kills now. Vickers heavy machine gun in this building here, but the Sniper trying to snipe it out, but gotta watch out for that Universal Carrier at the same time, so he's really worried about that. He needs to be in camouflage so that that Universal Carrier just can't instantly destroy it. Now an armored 75mm armored car there out on the field for the British forces. And we have some Grenadiers here battling out with infantry and the Vickers, so they're in trouble and will get suppressed and we'll have to retreat out of the way. Pioneer's going to be taking the right side territory point there. And now the armored car is hovering over the center of the map here, just past the center of the map rather, and just waiting for something to come along so it can destroy it here. And we have a 222 out on the field armored car for the Wehrmacht. And Grenadiers getting some cover here against these Royal Engineers. Royal Engineers are taking the territory point. We'll tank it before these Grenadiers force them away. And now British forces territory. The territory point here is neutralized. And the Universal Carrier took down the fence line, making it a little bit easier for troops to get in and out of here. And they were repairing that Universal Carrier, but there was only a small sliver, pixel-length sliver there of damage on it. Grenadiers, MG42, Sniper, and the 222 all on the left side here. And also taking the right side victory point here with these Pioneers. So going to own that, but and they definitely need that because so far the British forces has 3 victory points. So it's 490 to 359. Universal Carrier is moving up. Once again, going to try and get some extra kills here. Got to watch out for that 222, as the 222 is a very good counter to the Universal Carrier there.
We're losing a capture point.
When I play a game and I'm the Wehrmacht, I like to get out of 222 very quickly when somebody's harassing me with a Universal Carrier, because it's just super good. You can chase them down very easily, and it doesn't kill it very fast.
Has destroyed our forward position.
That certainly did. The armor-piercing shells of an MG42 definitely do very good damage to a Universal Carrier, as shown. He also has a PaK-40 and the 222, so lots of anti-armor there. And we have the infantry section up top here.
Vehicles and infantry are ready to... A capture point is being overrun.
And now the Sniper getting a few extra kills there. 14 kills on that Sniper. A 2-star veteran. Not too bad there. And the Bren Mark II light machine gun. That's what I was looking for there on that infantry. On this particular infantry squad. For a little extra long-range damage. And the Vickers going to be running away. Only 2 men left in that squad. And he was getting shot at by that Sniper. So he decided to get it out of there. Get it on home. And we have these infantry over here with taking the territory point as well. So lots of territory taken by the British forces. So a big advantage for the British forces. You can see 63 munitions and 32 fuel to 21 and 13. So a huge advantage for the British forces right now. And infantry now going to be trying to get away from this section here and try and get in the house for a little protection, but not going to be enough, as there's people on all sides here. We have the Grenadiers, Sniper, and 222 firing, and looks like this infantry section will be lost as it's not retreating, and he definitely needs to retreat right now. 222 was lost to the Mark III 75mm armored car. Armored car takes a Panzerfaust there. Now the engine is damaged. And infantry here firing at the Grenadiers. Need to get those in cover. And you could probably get them right here and do really well against these Grenadiers. Grenadiers are taking the right side munitions point there. And there was the lag of the game just for a small part there. And Grenadiers inside this house forcing away the infantry. Now on this side here we have air landing officer chasing away some Grenadiers there. They did successfully defend the left side there from those Grenadiers. And now Sniper is moving forward again, going to try and get some extra kills here. Can get some kills on this machine gun here. And now 18 total kills on that Sniper there. 2-star veteran still. And now a 2-star veteran Grenadiers here battling out against this infantry section. The infantry section has equal armor, equal cover rather. And fires a little bit better than the Grenadiers, but I think they may lose out to those Grenadiers as they are less veteran, and only 3 in that squad. Now, the Grenadiers have taken over the house after they pushed that Vickers out and sent it on home. And maybe Glider just chilling on the ground here, and the air landing officer now running on back home. Looks like got forced away by something here. Didn't really see what forced that away. And Grenadiers here still battling out with this infantry section, and looks like they're actually losing out on this fight, as British infantry are super good behind cover. And actually they just lost one just as they were retreating, so I think he would have actually won out on that eventually. Infantry section here battling out with Grenadiers. Grenadiers are taking the territory point right in front of the British forces, so he's really got to watch out for this. He's actually starting to lose territory very quickly, and he's at 42 and 19 to 30 to 42 now in 19. So the Germans have turned this around very quickly. Armored car firing into the house there. And the MG there could face and start targeting that armored car with armor-piercing shells, and it could do a little bit of damage, although the armored car does have more armor than the Universal Carrier. Armor-piercing shells are very good, and could actually still do some damage. The Royal Engineers here trying to get up front there, but they just can't because of that machine gun there. It doesn't really want to run into that. It needs to take that territory point back and start pushing forward here. And the infantry section still up there guarding that section, and the Mark III armored car still firing into the house there. 2 snipers out now for the Wehrmacht. And one of the snipers is brand new. A total of 3 kills on the new sniper, and a total of 20 kills on the old sniper. Snipers doing very well. Grenadiers taking the munitions point at the same time. We have some Pioneers taking the left side victory point. So huge comeback for the Wehrmacht here. Turning the game around, taking a lot of the area here. Infantry here running back from this section here, and because they ran away, gonna give that right to those Grenadiers. Not gonna have any contest here for that territory point, although they only had 2 in the squad there, so they pretty much didn't have too much of a choice there. Now a Stug 3 Ausführung E assault gun is out on the map. And not so good at attacking tanks, but much better at attacking infantry. Although sometimes very fun to get a few of them and destroy a tank with a few of these. Pretty humorous when that happens. Air landing officer now taking back the left side victory point, and definitely need to be doing that because the Wehrmacht is at 217. Could win the game sooner or later here. As long as he just holds on to a couple, it wouldn't be that long. The Wehrmacht really has to turn this game around, as the British forces have only lost 20 points this whole game. Now bringing up 2 Pack 40s here, and going to try and get that armored car. Now it's Stug 3 versus the armored car, and the Stug will probably lose out on that battle. The armored car, a little bit more mobile, has a very good gun on it. And the Stug 3 here, a little bit confused, going to try and go back home and repair that up. Grenadiers here in the house here, firing with that light machine gun at these infantry here, and they're a little bit screwed as there's 2 snipers here, instantly going to take out some of those infantry, and so he's really got to watch out for that. And the only problem here with the British forces is that you really can't counter snipe very well with British forces, because their sniper is very slow. It cloaks very slowly, and it fires very slowly. So basically, a German sniper will always fire first, pretty much always fire first against a British forces sniper, and so you will always pretty much get out-sniped as a British forces sniper. So that is a big problem for our British forces player on how to take out these snipers as British.
Eager for the off.
And really, you just have to get a very good opportunity to do so. Pioneers now repairing up the Stug 3, and over here, the air landing officer getting the fuel point. However, an MG-42 and Grenadiers setting up, and going to force away the air landing officer as well, and unable to take that fuel point, running on home. And now the Grenadiers here are going to be taking the fuel point from the British forces. However, the Vickers heavy machine gun suppressing them, but the rifle grenade there goes off and takes out one of them. And I'm going to pick that up and run on home. The Mark III armored car now going to be pushing forward here. We got to watch out. There's a Pack 40 and the Stug 3 there are going to be firing on it. And there goes the Stug. Misses slightly, but the Pack sure hit it and took out almost half the health. And now going to be backing up, and not a good idea. Back up right back into that Pack, and now loses that Mark III armored car. So now the British force is definitely in trouble.
Mark III armored car.
As you can see, Wehrmacht snipers just super good against the British forces, so that is definitely an idea for anybody looking for a good counter to the British forces. The Wehrmacht sniper just super good against British forces. Grenadiers now pushing forward even more and firing at this glider here, although the glider is pretty much useless. I'm not even sure why they leave it in the game like that. And another Stug 3 trying to push into the base. And there is the lag of the game again there. That is sort of an unusual one. And the Pack 40 now firing at the 3-inch mortar emplacement. And it's losing out very quickly here, down to less than half health. He's going to be trying to repair it up with these Royal Engineers, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And he's using that. No, he does not have the engineer, so he cannot use that auto repair. That I believe. Looks like he's actually just repairing it with Royal Engineers here. Yep, indeed. Just repairing it with the Royal Engineers. And now the Stug 3 has to back up out of here. Gonna get shot with that Kiat, so doesn't really want that. He's gonna back up just a little bit and try and fire at the air landing officer a couple more times here and try and take out some of them, but misses there. And they did nerf the Stug 3. It was a little while ago. They nerfed it a little bit, the firing rate of the Stug 3 a little while ago. It was a number of patches ago. And with the bunker here, futilely firing at the Stug 3, and takes out that 3-inch mortar replacement. These 2 snipers here, trying to get some kills onto the troops here.
We're losing a capture point.
And going to be running back here. Total of 25 kills, 23 kills, and 8 kills on the other sniper. So the British force is in deep trouble here, all the way back at base, and owns absolutely nothing on the map.
Typical enemy trick, isn't it?
Except just for this territory point right here. So that is the only one they own on the map. So big trouble here. And actually took out the artillery, the base artillery there. And now British forces trying to fight back on the left side here, and they're trying to force the Germans out on the left side there. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Is he going to pull all of his forces over here? These two snipers here just doing so good, doing so much damage against the British forces here. He just has to replace all the troops that are being killed by those snipers, and it just runs them out of money, just running them dry. And that trench there still pretty much went unused. The Grenadiers here are going to be taking the last point of the British forces. Now a Sherman Firefly is out on the map here. Maybe this is the saving grace for the British forces. Going to be going right after that Stug 3. And it should be able to take it out here and hit it with a big hit there. And now just a small sliver of health left on that Stug 3, but it's going to bring it back as there's two Pack 40s here. Really got to watch out for that. And the Sherman Firefly has very little armor. Infantry lost for the British forces, and that's a big loss for the British forces, as he doesn't have any more infantry left on the map except Royal Engineers and the air landing officer, and the Sherman Firefly is the third unit that he has out on the field. So definitely in trouble here, and trying to fight back as much as possible here. And going to be taking back the territory point. Looks like it's going to be taking back this territory point as well with the Royal Engineers. And some chat going on the left side of the the screen here, and saying sorry for winning the game. Sort of a troll. Obvious troll is obvious. And we have the MG42 here, a 2-star MG42, not too bad. And the Sherman Firefly are going to be firing into the building. However, the two Pack 40s are here, and he really has to watch out for that, as those two Pack 40s will take out that Sherman Firefly very, very quickly. Now the Stug going to be repaired back up. And going to be guarding the left side of the map here so that some of his troops can actually take back some of the map. And so with his Sherman over here, he'll be able to defend a little bit and let his troops capture some of this, so he can maybe possibly get back into this game. 304 to 216. The Wehrmacht still technically losing the game in terms of points, in terms of victory points, but in terms of resources, he's absolutely crushing. 57 and 42 to 16 and 10. Now a third Royal Engineer is out on the map for the British forces here. Now going to be repairing up his platoon command post, and at the same time repairing up his Firefly, while the other two units he has on the map going to be still capturing here. Captured the third left side victory point here, and looks like he put some mines there on the ground, some modified M6 mines that go off both for tanks and infantry there. So very, very useful mines the British forces have. They absolutely dominate infantry that walk over them because they're very, very large mines, and they also blow up pretty well on medium and heavy tanks as well. Now two snipers here going to be firing again at the Royal Engineers. Loses another Royal Engineer, so he only has one left in that squad. Now he has two heavy Royal Engineers here, and the heavy Royal Engineers have a Vickers K light machine gun, and that's what makes them a heavy Royal Engineer when you upgrade that. Heavy Engineers. And the air landing officer here completely pinned by that bunker there. Needs to take out that bunker with this Firefly here. Not going to be too hard. Going to be 1 or 2 hits, and that will toast. There we go, 1 hit, and that is gone. As the Sherman Firefly does incredible damage, does huge damage, and also needs to get that Tulip rocket upgrade, but he simply doesn't have enough munitions. Well, he actually has 307, so he could be getting that, but I don't think he's really aware of getting that Tulip rocket at the moment. He has plenty of munitions, a huge surplus of munitions. Could be getting those Tulip rockets and using those over and over. They cost 100 munitions to use, which is quite expensive, considering their cooldown is pretty quick, and you can use them pretty much over and over. I think the cooldown is, I think, no more than a minute. And so you can use them again and again. It launches 2 rockets in a line. It's sort of a skill shot kind of thing. You don't actually just click on a unit, and it launches 2 rockets, and it does huge damage to tanks. Very, very useful. Royal Engineers taking some damage there, just moving forward. They're going to take back the left side victory point here. And meanwhile, the Wehrmacht just setting up and getting real cozy here. It doesn't really have to do too much except react to the British now. And the air landing officer going to be trying to get back the fuel point. He definitely needs this fuel point so he can get some more tanks out on the field to deal with the Wehrmacht. Panzer V is out on the field, and that's bad news for our British forces, as the Piat simply not going to be enough for that.
The ability is ready now.
As it just sort of pinged off, did a small sliver of damage there. Strafing support now going over and trying to attack that Panzer V there. That Panther, rather, it's Panzer V, Panther, same thing. And a Sherman Firefly now trying to battle it out over here, the Stug here. Not too much of a worry of that Stug there, but the Pak-40s are going to be a problem. And where's the other Pak-40 now? Moving this Pak-40 over towards the Sherman Firefly. Now he's going to set it up right here. Should be able to get a hit right there. Takes a side armor, takes a frontal armor hit from the two Paks. Needs to get out of there immediately. We'll lose that Sherman Firefly should another Pak fire. Now the 55 cal sniper is out on the field, firing at the MG42 inside the building, forces that MG42 away. That's going to free up his troops to move up there. And now the Sherman Firefly is in danger here. Needs to be repaired up by some Royal Engineers. Problem is, he needs those Royal Engineers to be out gathering fuel points, victory points, and such. He has a second sniper out on the field now for the British forces, so two snipers to two snipers. However, the German snipers, again, a little bit better than the British snipers. However, the British snipers are a little bit have a little bit more utility in the sense that they can do critical shots to tanks, and they can do really good damage to light vehicles, even so much a little bit of medium vehicles, but not too great. So definitely higher utility, but not so good in terms of killing troops. Not as good anyway. They don't fire as fast. They move fast. Things like that. They are just a little bit slower in overall, and Royal Engineers now taking the right side fuel point back from the Wehrmacht and taking the left side munitions point. Almost stumbled on munitions point there, and now taking that back as well. So going to start getting some resources back for the British forces, and at the same time taking it away from the Wehrmacht. Now we have some pioneers here moving towards the fuel point. They're gonna looks like they're gonna successfully take that back, as there's really nothing to contest them up that way. The two snipers here now battling out with the Royal Engineers, taking some shots on them, and it looks like they lost one in that engagement, and they did not successfully take that fuel point. They did neutralize it, however, which is good enough. Stug just barreling through all the steel, all the concrete walls there, or brick wall, whatever, and there we go. Now it's just, that's kind of weird. It just now broke down. Sherman Firefly moving over the minefield here, but he did lose a whole bunch of engineers in the process, as a whole bunch of those mines are going off all over the place there. And now the Panther moving in on the Sherman Firefly. He does not have those tulip rockets. He definitely needs those. The Pak-40 here firing on the Sherman as well, and loses that Sherman to the Panther and the Pak-40. That is a big loss for our British forces player. The Stug, two snipers over here, and the Panther, along with the Pak-40, going to prevent any kind of armor from going over this way, including infantry with the two grenadiers and the two snipers over here. Going to lose, pretty much lose two infantry as soon as you move them through here, as a sniper has a very, very high success rate. Now a minefield has been placed along this fuel point here, so as soon as these Royal Engineers move up to that point, I'm going to run over all kinds of mines. They're going to be very, very bad. Panther now trying to react over to the fuel point here against those Royal Engineers, and those Royal Engineers have no ability to take out this Panther. They do not have a Piat. Instead, they have that Bren. And now here comes the Panther here, going to force away these Royal Engineers very quickly, and we are now taking the territory point back for the British forces. And looks like he's going to go for the fuel point as well. However, there is another minefield over this way, and I can't see the other marks on the map. I just see the one there. But there's definitely some mines somewhere in there. Look by the looks of it. And these snipers sniping up at that MG42 crew there, forcing it on home. And the Panther now moving back into the center of the map towards those snipers, and could easily take out those snipers. Gotta watch out that, gotta keep those camouflaged and away from that Panther. Royal Engineers now moving towards the Grenadiers here. Gonna try and take that victory point, but loses out very quickly to those Grenadiers. And now a bunker here with an MG42 is gonna really prevent any troops from getting that right side victory point.
Our bunker can now accommodate an MG42.
Snipers now firing at the Pak-40 here, and gotta watch out here. Gonna may lose that and decruise that Pak-40 successfully. Very good job for Dbmb there. However, there are still a Pak-40 left, and he's in trouble still. The Sherman Firefly, the only thing left on the map, fires at the Panther there. Heavily damages that Panther in just a couple shots, and these snipers are also firing at the Panther as well, trying to do some damage to it, and they do decent damage to it, and they were critically firing on that Panther there. By the looks of it, indeed used both of his critical shots there, and now forces away the Pioneers here, and gonna move on back. But not too big of a deal for the Wehrmacht, as they have all 3 victory points, so big trouble for Dbmb. And this munitions point still belongs to the British forces, but looks like not for long. The British forces really doesn't have too much of an answer here. They have 3 Royal Engineers and 2 snipers, the Sherman Firefly, and looks like he's bringing out a 6-pounder now, indeed, to deal with that Panther. Well, this is the Stug, and the Panther looks like it's all going back to base to repair up, and I don't think it's going to be enough here. I think he's losing a little bit too quickly, and now the snipers are trying to take out the bunker there, and they do very good damage to a bunker, but it's not going to be enough, as we have some Grenadiers here that are going to force away these snipers. Now they're going to go after this sniper here and start firing that light machine gun at those snipers, but didn't kill any of them, but did force them away, which is good enough. Sherman Firefly still does not have those tulip rockets, and I would definitely like to see him get those. And those poor snipers, they did run through that minefield. And there's the other markers. I didn't see those earlier. And here's one, and there's another one. And lost both of those snipers, and that was GG for Dbmb. And both sides played very, very well. Just the Wehrmacht came out in the later game, and I think these snipers played a absolutely vital role in this game. 28 and 15 kills. So that means he had to replace all of those kills with infantry and reinforcing at his base, and let's just say 25 apiece or 30 apiece, we could say, and that is equal to quite a lot of manpower over time with just these 2 snipers here alone. So it was a little bit too much for Dbmb, and I think the Wehrmacht sniper is a very, very excellent counter towards British forces, as the British forces really don't have too much of an answer for it. I mean, the Universal Carrier could do pretty well against them with the flamethrower. But again, the British forces snipers are just a little bit slower than the Wehrmacht. So when it comes to a one-on-one battle, if you ran a British forces sniper up through here and a Wehrmacht sniper down through there at the same time, the Wehrmacht sniper would probably win pretty much every time. So that is very difficult for the British forces to deal with. So that is definitely a very good set of units to have. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I will see you guys next time.